Thanks for joining us, everyone. We begin from the presidential villa, where President Bola Tinubu has directed the immediate release of 52 minors detained during the nationwide protests in Kano and Kaduna states on the 3rd of August. The Minister of Information, Idris Muhammad, revealed this on Monday while briefing State House Correspondent. He also disclosed that President Tinubu has instructed the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs to ensure the welfare of the minors, ensuring they're reunited with their families. He said President Tinubu ordered the establishment of an administrative committee to review the minors' arrest and treatment. Idris Muhammad also conveyed President Tinubu's directive that law enforcement agents involved in the detentions would be investigated, with a disciplinary action expected to follow if any infractions are discovered.
Mr. President, because of his very deep commitment to democracy and the rule of law, and he has directed the immediate release of all the minors that have been arrested by the Nigerian police. The President has also directed the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction to immediately see to the welfare of those minors and also take part to ensure their smooth reunion with their parents or guardians wherever they are in the country.
Lawyer Tony Daniel joined us earlier to discuss what the legal options are to waive the sanctions already established against the minors.
The directive of the President is not to the court. It is to the Attorney General and to the Inspector General of Police. So they have to look for a way
to get back to the court.
Yes, to execute that.
To waive that bail condition.
Yes. So what they can do is simple. Apply for abridgment of time.
Joining me now is State House Correspondent Femi Akonde. Femi, walk us through the details of Mr. President's intervention, especially as regards to investigation into what went wrong to have this minor detained in the first place.
Well, hi, Femi. Mr. President's directive, to the AGF ordering the release of these minors is without prejudice to the already existing legal process that these people arrested are going through. So it's now for the Attorney General of the Federation to see how he can, go back to court and see how they can walk through this whole legal process to expedite the release of these minors. What really Mr. President is concerned about is how this was allowed to happen in the first place. And, following the rule of law, this is a matter that has to do with two different arms of government, the executive, which Mr. President heads, and then the judiciary. So President Bola Tinubu is also ensuring that, in giving out this directive, the rule of law is also applied and followed to the letter. So we expect the Attorney General of the Federation now to begin to explore all legal options and alternatives there are to see how, Mr. President's desire to see these minors released immediely is effected. He has directed the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs to also ensure that the welfare of these children, is prioritized and ensure that, they are also reunited with their parents. So we expect the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs to already get to work, go to where these kids are being kept, check out for their welfare, ensure that indeed they have enough to eat and drink, check for their health, and those who are probably not in good health will then be given medical attention before they are reunited with their parents. For the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, theirs is just to ensure their welfare and then facilitate a reunion with their parents. But we expect to see by the end of the day or tomorrow that the Attorney General of Police, the Attorney General of the Federation, and indeed the prosecuting authorities would have been able to work out something to effect President Bola Tinubu's directive. Nifemi.
Eleron Femi, the Attorney General of the Federation, did ask the Nigeria Police to transfer to him the case file. But how do you see the presidential intervention impact on protests and protesters going forward, especially with a spotlight, a search into the operations of law enforcement agents in this regard?
Well, for this presidential directive is just to ensure that, in carrying out the law, in enforcing the law, the rights of others are not trampled upon, which seem to be what have happened with the arrest of these minors and the way the case was handled, how they were tried in an open court instead of a juvenile court, and also the facility where they were kept, how they were kept in that facility, the kind of treatment meted out to them. That's what the president is concerned about, and that does not also push away the crime that a lot of them are being charged for. We all know what happened during that nationwide protest, how a lot of young people went on rampage, burning government buildings, destroying private property, looting, and causing mayhem. All of these are against the law, and the law must run its course. And that is what, to some extent, the police and other law enforcement agencies were trying to do. But where they got it a bit wrong is in the arrest of these minors and not ensuring that, they are handled according to the stipulations of the law regarding issues of child, or this kind of child-related issues, especially ensuring that the Child Rights Act is enforced to protect the rights of these children.
State House Correspondent Femi Akonde live for us from our Abuja studio.